Welcome back to the channel. On the walkthrough of the XS650 I talked about brass, this stuff, and we use lots of it on there just as nice little accents all over the bike. But what we had to do was try and get all the brass to tarnish at the same level so it all looked as though it was the same. And we used a little technique to do that, and what I'm going to do now is just run you through how that works. So I've got a few little bits of brass here. I've got some dome nuts that we used. We use these type of things on the bike. There's a couple of little bits of brass. We machine these up for doing gear lever and brake lever ends and stuff like that. And there's just a little bit of plate here, which is a little bit different. There's some gluey sticky stuff here. Look at that gum. It can stay on, I suppose. Oh, I'm going to get it off. I'm determined now. I'm going to get that off. It's like a sticky back thing, it's a covering. So while I'm doing this, the first thing we need to do with the brass then is clean it all up. So it's all got to be at the same level to start with. So what you need to do that is your favourite metal polish. Lots out there, there's plenty of stuff. Brasso, Autosol, etc., just to name a few. I'm just going to use a little bit of Autosol here. I'm nearly there through that. That bit of plate, get off. Right, so I'm just going to use a little bit of Autosol just to clean these up. So as you can see now, they're quite dull at the minute, but they're at various different levels. So if you put them on the bike, they wouldn't look as if they were all part of the same thing, the same bike build, and it had gone through that weathering process. So what we need to do is clean up the brass. So some metal polish, we clean it all up. I'll come to polishing them up in a little bit. That's what is required. God, loads of it. Come on, Titch, you've got it everywhere on it. I'm sure you can forward through all this, can't you, really?
Yeah.
It's like I think nobody really wants me to just, hey, look at him polishing brass. Isn't that interesting? Oh, that's interesting. Get on with it, Titch. I want to see what happens when you've cleaned all your brass and it's all shiny. And then what do you do? Okay, these are just going to be rough cleans. I'll just do one of these nuts, we don't need all of them, do we? Hopefully that'll be enough. We'll give these a little bit of a rub off. Clean this to cloth, is it? So there we have them. We've just cleaned them up roughly and got them all to a level where they're all shiny. And we're starting from the same level. Now all the things with brass and coppers and stuff like that, there are various different metals in there, and quite often never that consistent, so there'll be various different percentages in there, so they'll never quite be the same. But you can only do what you can do, and you can get them to a pretty good level using this technique. Now what next I need is a tub with a resealable lid. Need a little bit of blue roll or kitchen roll, whatever. I'm just going to line the bottom of that with this. I'm trying to get it as flat as possible. See if I can flatten that out a bit. What you're getting is my hands just stuffing in there, aren't you? That's pretty good. I'm going to need some glasses and a pair of gloves, because this stuff it's pretty stinky. Although it's not going to do anything majorly nasty, I won't want to sort of pour it all over myself. It is household ammonia. I mean, get this for anything, a bit like peroxide, people use it dyeing hair and stuff like that. I don't know who dyes hair, but I think there's people that dye their hair, but not me. Ammonia. So stinky, pretty stinky stuff. I'm going to soak that onto there. You getting a whiff of that, Bailey? Is that starting to come through?
No, yeah.
It'll start to come through a little bit. So we've got there ammonia sat at the bottom of there. Now, do you want to put things in there to rest these on? You can. You know, you can put little bits of steel in there. It's not going to affect the steel, but you can rest things on. Because if you do rest it on something, and directly on the paper, it'll really tarnish that bit specifically. So you'll get marks where it was touching. So you can sit these in like this. Sit them in like that. This one will stand upright. You can stand upright. This one will let the base touch the ammonia, so you can see the effect of that. Alright, so there we go. They're all just spaced in there. The larger shell and the plate is raised up. The little peg is on its base, and the nut is just sat into it. Now, next thing we're going to do is close it up. And we're going to wait an hour, and then we'll see what happens after an hour in the ammonia. Well, an hour's passed, so let's have a look at how the brass has turned out. I can tell by looking in the box that it's taken, and the shell's actually taken quite a bit, so we'll see if we've got any marks on there that might be a bit of a pain. But just taking them out, you can see now. I should have kept a shiny bit in comparison, shouldn't I? And then you could see the comparison. The shell has tarnished. You can see the marks on there. And that's tarnished quite well. You see on the bottom, see this is because I say it on the actual material itself. So because I put it on the blue roll with ammonia in, you get these marks. So if you don't want those marks, you need to sort of suspend it so you don't get the marks underneath it. Again, you can see this one around the bottom. But you've got like quite a nice old antique-y brass hue on it, which is what you wanted in, and rather than having these really shiny brass blingy bits, which we didn't want, we wanted it all to blend in. But yeah, quite happy with that. That's come out quite nice. Hopefully that's helpful for you, and it'll give you an idea. I'm going to put the lid on that because it's strong old stuff. That stuff. that'll give you an idea. And if you ever want to use brass and stuff like that, a little bit of ammonia in the bottom of a bath sealed unit and leave it for an hour. Of course, the longer you leave it, the more it'll tarnish and you'll get that effect. But hopefully that's been helpful for you. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you again soon.